What's up, people? UFC 219 takes place tonight, live on pay-per-view, 10 in the East, 7 in the West. I'm Ryan Thomas, coming to you live on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast for a new segment on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast, the Thomas Take Quick Picks, UFC 219. We got an awesome card tonight. There's some haters out there, Pat Fister, throwing some shade at the fact that this is a women's main event. This is a women's super fight. Arguably one of the best women's fights of all time, featuring two of the biggest women's mixed martial artists, name value-wise ever. This is a women's super fight. So I'm all for women being in the main event. There's nothing wrong with that. We got some talent in these divisions, and it needs to be showcased. What better way to showcase it on a card at the end of the year? Cynthia Calvillo versus Carla Esparza is another women's mixed martial arts fight that is one that I have huge interest in. Cynthia is an amazing fighter. Carla is an amazing fighter. So we got two great women's fights on one card. One a little bit, down the line. The other, obviously, the main event. You have Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Edson Barboza. You have the return of the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit, the former interim UFC welterweight title holder, who took 16 months off and is coming back to face a durable opponent in Neil Magny, an active, durable opponent in Neil Magny. But I'm so pumped up I can't even say his name right. But I am on here to give you the quick picks of the night. Who do I think will win these fights and why? So let's talk about that. I've already given you my prediction for the Cyborg versus Holm fight. I think Cyborg hits like a Mack truck. She hits very hard. But if Holly Holm can be more athletic, more elusive, use better footwork, and be more of an athlete, more of a technical fighter in the octagon tonight, then Cyborg, which I truly believe Holly is the far more technical opponent than Cyborg, she can beat her. She can pick her apart and eventually knock her out in the second or third round. And that's what I'm going to go with. I think that Holly rises to the occasion in big fights, and she's done so once already. I think she's going to do it again. Why would I? History says that she shows up in these moments, so I can't pick against her. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Edson Barboza. Obviously, a lot of people have a lot of intrigue in this fight, being that Khabib hasn't been around for quite some time, and Edson Barboza is a guy that has been ripping through the opposition in the UFC lightweight division via leg kicks, a very fast-paced striker, a guy that I really enjoy watching fight. So this is two fighters sharing the octagon that are fan favorites, that have dominated their opposition. Khabib undefeated, Barboza only a couple losses on his record. So this is a huge fight, one that can kind of clear the waters, so to speak, at 155 pounds. But being that you have all these detractors for Khabib Nurmagomedov, sometimes myself included, I can put my name in that group. In terms of his weight-cutting issue, I'm going to go with Khabib in this fight. I think that he has a point to prove. I think that he is ready to take on Tony Ferguson for the interim title, and that's what I expect will happen once he beats Edson Barboza. So I'm going to go with Holm and Khabib in the main and co-main event. On to Carlos Condit. Not much to the surprise of most, I'm not going to pick against Carlos Condit. I can't do it. So I'm going with Carlos Condit in that fight. He's one of the best UFC welterweights of all time, one of the best MMA welterweights of all time. Easily could have been a champion had there not been a guy named George St. Pierre in the weight class ruling that division. So Carlos Condit comeback fight. I think he's going to do big things. I think he's going to show up tonight and really return in a big way versus Neil Magny. Cynthia Calvillo versus Carla Esparza, a fight that I alluded to from the top, is a fight that I'm very interested in. I think that Calvillo is a fighter that is clearly on the rise, and I wrote that in a recently published article, or an article that will be published fairly soon on the Fighters to Watch list heading into 2018. Calvillo is a couple wins away from cinching herself a title shot in the women's bantamweight division. A big win over Esparza, a finish over Esparza tonight would do that. So I'm very interested to see this fight, and I think Calvillo does have what it takes. She's got a lot of momentum. Carla Esparza has kind of hit a snag. She is a solid game opponent, easily one of the best in the world, but we'll see what happens. I think Calvillo will take it, though. So those are the Thomas Take Sports Podcast UFC 219 quick picks, as I've just given you my picks for 4 fights on tonight's card. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the fights. Stay safe. Don't drive. Don't drive while intoxicated. Don't be an idiot. Stay safe. Let's go Buffalo. Big game tomorrow. I will be live on the Facebook page Sunday night, tomorrow night, probably around 6 or 7 to dissect this game. Actually, probably around 7, being that the game's on at 4:25. I keep forgetting that. Maybe around 7 or 8, we'll say. All right? I'll see you then. Take care, everybody.